Hi everybody, my name is Richard McMunn from the interview training company passmyinterview.com, and in this tutorial I'm going to give you 7 great interview questions and answers to help you pass your interview. Now, it does not matter what interview you have coming up, please make sure you watch it from beginning to end, because I guarantee the questions will come up during your interview, but more importantly, if you use the suggested answers, your chances of passing will significantly increase. Now, before I get into the 7 questions and answers, a very warm welcome to this tutorial. My name is Richard McMunn. That's me there on the right hand side. I'm very passionate about helping people like you to pass their interviews. And in this tutorial, we are going to focus on 7 great interview questions and answers. Please make sure you do subscribe to this interview training channel by clicking the red button below the video. That way you will not miss out on any of the free tutorials that I'm creating every week. Also, if you do like the questions and answers, please give the video a thumbs up. I would very much appreciate that. It motivates me to do more for you. And also, if you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, I have put my LinkedIn description below this video, in the video description, so you can go on there and connect with me on LinkedIn. Okay, let's get straight into it. Interview question number 1. Why should we hire you? Pretty much guaranteed during any interview. So how do we answer this common interview question? 3 tips first of all before I give you the suggested answer. Tip number 1. Focus on how you can add benefit to the role you are being interviewed for. So how can you add value and be a benefit to the employer within the role? Tip number 2, mention the key qualities and attributes of the job within your answer to this question. Tip number 3, make sure you match any previous experience you have to the job in your response to the question. So how do you do that? Here's my suggested answer for you for the interview question, why should we hire you? As an employer, you are investing time, money and resources into this role, and therefore you want to get the right person. Now, having studied the job description in detail, I believe I am that person. The job description requires an ability to deliver excellent customer service, an ability to consistently meet targets, and to also fit quickly within your already established team. Now, my resume and previous work experiences make me strongly believe I can do all of those things. I'm a hard worker. I am professional, self-motivated and committed to achieving your goals and the company mission. I feel confident that if you hire me, you'll be more than happy with my performance and the dedication I will apply within the role. So that's a very strong answer to the interview question, why should we hire you, that you can use in your interview. Let's have a look at the next question. What's your biggest strength? Now, of course, they are going to follow this up with, well, what's your biggest weakness? So I will tackle that for you as we go through this tutorial. But first of all, let's take a look at the interview question. What is your biggest strength? Here we go, 3 tips. Tip number 1, your key strengths should align to the job advert and the job description. Tip number 2, focus on 4 key strengths in your answer as opposed to just 1. Now, the majority of people will just give 1 strength, but you are going to be different and unique. I want you to give 4 key strengths and then explain to the interview panel how your key strength is of benefit within the role. Here's how to do that. Here's the answer. I believe I have 4 key strengths: professionalism, an ability to work towards the wider company goal, team working skills, and above all, dependability. My biggest strength is that if you give me a difficult job or project to complete, I will go away and complete it to the right standard and within the allocated time frame. I am a dependable and reliable employee who will never let you down within the role or whenever completing a task. So that sounds much more stronger than if you just mention 1 thing. So you are talking about 4 key strengths and then focusing at the end on 1 in particular and how it benefits the employer. Great answer. Okay, next question. Why do you want to leave your current job? I can pretty much guarantee this will come up during your interview, so we need to make sure you answer it correctly. Here are 3 tips to the interview question, why do you want to leave your job? Tip number 1, do not be disrespectful about or criticise your previous manager, your company or your employer. Please do not do it. Tip number 2, say you want a fresh challenge with a new company. And tip number 3, be complimentary in your answer by telling them they are innovative and forward thinking. So we want to flatter the interview panel. to want for a better term, but that's what we need to do, and this is how you need to do it. Here we go. Whilst I very much like my employer and the team I am in, I feel ready now for a new and fresh challenge. I had planned on staying there for many years to come, but now is the right time to move forward, and I have been on the lookout for the right position to emerge within your company. I have so much to offer, and I feel excited about the prospect of putting my skills, attributes and experience to test with hopefully your organisation and a new and innovative team. Great answer to the interview question, why do you want to leave your job? Next question, how do you handle stress and pressure in the workplace? Here are 3 tips. Tip number 1, be sure to have a plan already for dealing with stress and pressure in the workplace. Tip number 2, tell the interview panel your mindset is switched on to dealing with it and also using it to your advantage. And I'll explain how to do that in a second. Tip 3, explain how you continually look to develop in a role, which then goes on to help you manage and deal with pressure and stress more effectively. So how do we do that? Here's my suggested answer. First and foremost, through having a positive mindset and also through pre-planning, I always adopt a can-do attitude. If you expect things to be tough at times, which they inevitably are, you are then mentally prepared for what's to come. And this allows you to focus on the end task and achieving your work targets effectively. Now, with regards to pre-planning, I always think ahead as to what I need to do within my role over the forthcoming 4 weeks. This helps me to remain focused, and it also eliminates stress within the position. Finally, whenever stress or pressure occurs within the workplace, I always look to see what I can learn from that experience to try and make things smoother for next time. I believe if you continually develop and evolve within the role, the amount of stress and pressure will simply reduce over time. That's a great answer. You are prepared for stress and you are also, more importantly, learning from each experience. Next question. So this is the follow-up to the what is your strengths. This is what's your biggest weakness. Here are 3 tips for getting the question right. Tip number 1, don't mention a weakness that is a match for the job description. So for example, if you are required to work effectively as part of a team, do not say one of your weaknesses is you prefer to work on your own. Tip number 2, turn your weakness into a strength. And I'll teach you how to do that in a second. And also tip 3, subtly explain how your biggest weakness is in fact a benefit to the employer. Let's take a look at my sample response for you for helping you pass your interview. My biggest weakness is that I am too trusting sometimes. In my previous job, I was working with a number of other team members on an important project, and I made sure the task I was working on was completed on time and also to the required standard. As the project deadline approached, we all got together to discuss the final stages, and it became apparent that 2 team members were way behind with their tasks. I trusted them to do their job and they simply had not delivered. I actually learned a lot from that experience, and whilst I still think it's important to trust your work colleagues, and I make sure I hold regular update meetings with other team members to make sure we are all working toward the same goal and the same time frame. So that is a clever response to the what's your biggest weakness interview question. Next question, what motivates you? Here's 3 tips for getting the question right. Don't mention any interests or hobbies outside of work. Purely make your response to this interview question work specific. Tip number 2, in your response to this motivational interview question, try and tie in how your performance at work helps you to achieve your external goals. And I'll explain how to do that in a second. Tip number 3, utilize an intelligent response that shows you are a stable person. Here we go. My greatest motivator is doing a great job for my employer. I believe there is so much to gain from being a strong and competent employee. Firstly, it means you can feel more secure in your job, knowing you're working towards the company's goals and helping it to be more profitable. Secondly, because we spend so much time at work, it is important for me to be respected by my work colleagues and peers, and I believe you only gain respect by being competent in your job. Finally, I do have a family outside of work and I want to provide for them moving forward and give them the things they both need and want. I will only be able to achieve that by being good at my job and delivering for my employer. That's a great answer. Next one, interview question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? Very, very common question. Here are 3 tips to help you get it right. Demonstrate you still want to be working for their company in 5 years' time, but make sure you have a valid reason for doing so. Tip number 2, show the interview panel you have really looked into their organisation and what has actually attracted you to them. Tip number 3, show you have ambitious plans for the future and that you would consider promotion or advancement with the company if the opportunity arises. Here's my sample response for you. Now, the short answer is I would like to still be working for you within your organisation, either in the same position or, ideally, having gained advancement or promotion to a higher level. Now, during my research, I learned a lot about your organisation and I can see you are a company who is going places. You appear to be forward-thinking, innovative, and you have exciting plans for the future. On that basis, I would still like to be working for you, providing you are satisfied with my performance and the level of output I demonstrate within the role. Another cracking answer to one of those interview questions. Okay, now, do you want some more of these interview questions and answers? If you do, if you click the link below the video, it will take you through to my company website, passmyinterview.com. Now, on there, I'll just take you to the website. It will take you through to this page and you can get free 30 days access to my online interview training course. It's got over 500 Trustpilot reviews. It's rated excellent. You just need to click the Get Free Access button. You can have a look on that page and see what it's all about. But I have given you in there over 50 training videos that cover every single interview question that is likely to come up. So I'm giving you the answers and also, more importantly, tips on getting the scores right. I also give you the scoring criteria that you need to follow during your preparation. Guys, I love teaching you how to pass your interviews. Lots of people are having success, as I said before. Say hi in the comments section below the video. If you have an interview coming up, tell me what it is and I'll come on each day and give you a few questions to prepare for. But make sure you get access to that course because I promise you, if you do, it will further help you to smash your interview. Thank you for watching, everybody. I wish you all the very best in your pursuit to passing your interview. Thank you.